Do it.
Unsung narrative, young dumb American, arrogant, throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us, and y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back 'em up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defiant, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. Hit every bar, even though my bar's been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tuesday has arrived. Little sports nonsense and whiskey with the fellas. Gentlemen, how are we on this fabulous sports evening? Pinky,
Seattle,
Robert?
baby!
You know what?
Let's
I'm
go!
amazing because I'm on vacation. Let's go.
Vacay! Let's get it, baby!
Oh, I'm so ready to be in the land of grunge, rock music, Nirvana, and perfect gray, cloudy weather. I'm so excited. It's going to be great.
Raining every day. It's beautiful.
Ah, yeah!
It's the best weather. The best weather in the world.
Hopefully, things work out and we can do another one in June. Sports trip in June.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yes, very excited. It's I had a lot to get done today. So, it was a crazy day for me. I'm excited. I'm ready. And I got to say, guys, I didn't think this was going to happen. But both teams that we're going to watch on Sunday played in prime time and played really well.
Let's go!
Who's Seattle playing?
The Cardinals.
baby.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who just beat the Cow Wannabes.
Ooh, we'll get into that. That was ugly. It was ugly.
I mean, for
How
God's
are
sakes.
you, Caleb?
Good. I keep telling myself I'm good. Everything's fine.
It's good.
Nothing to worry about. Bit of a rough weekend. It's on the wrong side of a couple things, and it happens from time to time when you're on my fandom list, apparently. So, yeah, good. I'm good.
Okay, that's
And
what
we
you
know
said.
how Robert's doing. I got to see Robert. Mom was happy. So
I mean, outside of the things that I spoke about, I'm fantastic. I'm loving life. I'm so excited for this trip. I was actually telling Pinky, this is the first not family-oriented trip that I've had since COVID, and I can't contain myself. Otherwise, it's been, oh, hey, it's so-and-so's birthday. Let's all fly out. Or, oh, hey, my dad's retiring. We're going to go do this. Or, oh, hey, somebody passed away. I'm like, no, I'm ready for a good, solid. There is nothing but fun on the agenda.
I packed a bottle of tequila, a bottle of Eagle Rare. So we're going to have some fun.
And we Pinky, off air, we've got a standing invitation for a dinner with my buddy and whatnot with his girlfriend after the stadium tour. So we'll catch up on that.
We'll chat. All right.
And just for anybody wondering, just in case you're wondering, what Pinky just mentioned he's bringing will be gone within the first 4 hours of that trip based on who is going on this trip. So it's like the appetizer to them actually even starting their first day. Or
Do I need to bring my own glass?
we typically go to the liquor store too to have stuff there. I just wanted to bring when we were in New Orleans last year for the football trip, I got 2 bottles of Eagle Rare, and I thought, hey, I still have one of those bottles. Let's bring that up to Seattle.
Smart. And no, ladies and gentlemen, we will not be discussing any extracurricular recreational activities they might or may not partake in while in said city. So don't ask, because that is a conversation we will not go down the road of.
What happens in Seattle stays in Seattle, and that's how we like it, baby.
All right. Well, let's talk some sports, boys. We had tons of stuff going down.
Yeah, we got a big rundown tonight.
Where do you want to start, Caleb? Where do we start the show?
Look, plenty of conversation in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that. We got a topic of our own that we want to discuss, not to mention the trade deadline news that went about from the league and a few other things. We've got some college football to discuss. Got a topic there as well that is very on point considering the first CFP rankings were released this evening. That'll be fun. We've got a baseball discussion to have. And from there, we'll see what else fits in potentially. Obviously, we got nonsense at the end, and Robert's got some good topics to discuss on that front as well. So without further ado, Pinky, our NFL, I mean, it is the king of sports in America. We know that. We're always going to start with that every week that it's in season. Yeah, guys, I follow basketball still. Don't worry. There's things going on, but it's early in the season. We can talk about it here, like I said, Christmas. Right, Pinky? That's my general rule of thumb. Once Christmas rolls around, we start talking consistently about basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In that case,
basketball and hockey it's the time.
Yeah. So football, heavy, kind of how we lean this time of year. A lot of NFL to discuss. I leave the floor to you. Where would you like to start? Trade deadline, the topic, other things.
I want to start off, and I know this is a curveball for you. I just want to start off with baseball. Let's get that out of the way. World Series, congrats to the not new world champion, but back-to-back world champion.
Let's go, America!
Los Angeles. And I do think there's an argument to be had that it may or may not be the best World Series of all time. But
did you go do a little research and read up a little bit?
Yeah, I think the Cubs one is still probably the best.
See, and I don't have that one in my top three. I think just because the Cubs won and it breaks the it breaks the curve.
Seven.
Each game wasn't great. That's the thing. Like, each game was not in and of itself great. So while the series went to 7 and the Cubs broke the curse, each game in and of itself was not a great game. So to me, I remember that series when it finally got to 7. It's like, I mean, it's two best words in sports, right? Game 7. We all know how we feel about Game 7s. But I'm like, it's good, but like, I don't feel that way about this one. And you're right. Maybe it is recency bias. But you get an 18-inning game. Each game, for the most part, was fairly competitive. You get Game 7 in 11 innings. You get the controversy in Game 6. You get Yamamoto pitching like 3 full games to end the series. Ohtani getting on base 9 times in one game. 4 for 4 from the plate with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 5 walks. You get the Jays' entire lineup doing what they did to the point where this ace of a staff that everybody talked about from the Dodgers had issues the whole series because there's no hole. There's no hole 1 through 9 in that lineup when the bats come up to plate for Toronto. So there was so much back and forth. Everybody tried to make it out this David versus Goliath because the Dodgers and everybody knows how they spend. Like, the Dodgers were, if I remember correctly, Dodgers were 2 right behind New York, the Mets, and Toronto was 5th. It's not like we're talking, the Marlins or the Tampa Bay Rays or somebody like that who doesn't spend at all and basically fields a farm team and makes it to the World Series. No, this was 2 heavy hitters. 2 very heavy hitters that had great lineups. And everybody wants to complain about them spending, but there's a lot of teams that spend and weren't in the World Series. So maybe these just organizations have a better eye at evaluating talent and spending money correctly. which allowed them to field lineups that put them in positions to where it looks like this could be next year's World Series matchup.
It's
Okay.
one of my favorite lines from an Owen Wilson movie, The Internship. Read Moneyball, asshole. Walks are as good as hits. And it stands very true.
Get on base. Good things can happen.
Exactly. I mean, and if you spend money, don't spend money. I mean, there's a theory behind that, and it does have logic to it, but it's all comes down to evaluating talent, right? That's all we've said that multiple times across multiple sports. Evaluating talent is a very key component to winning championships. Not winning games, winning championships. And that's why the Dodgers are back-to-back champions right now. They know how to spend money, they know how to play, and they just kill it.
That they do.
Hats off to the Dodgers. Hats off to the Dodgers, man. They killed it. They deserve it. Deserved win. Controversy or not.
Well, let's talk about that
base.
for a second. Where do you guys stand on the Game 6 controversy?
I mean, they know the rules. You know the rules. You flex them. That's nobody else's fault of their own. And the fact that he was not even if I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb, he was subbed in, was put in this position, and it was the best thing that could happen for the team, period.
Worked out well. Pinky, what do you think?
I don't even know what you're talking about, so.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. Okay, so, hey, Pinky, just bear with us. We'll just burn through this for you. Robert, the word lodged means to become stuck in a place or position.
Correct.
It doesn't say at any point in the definition how hard it is to get said item out of the stuck position.
Nope.
It just means that it becomes stuck in that position. I don't care what look, yes, I was rooting for the Dodgers because I like Ohtani, but I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't actually root for either team. That was lodged. The ball stuck in the wall. So, him immediately putting his hands up, getting the ruling, runners advance, second and third. Okay, here's what I think everybody's missing. And this is what has driven me nuts about this whole controversy the entire time.
Quote unquote.
And my dad and I both said this. I happened to be in town. We were watching it together. He loves baseball. We both looked at each other when that happened, and we go, oh, that was probably lucky for the Jays. And instantly we knew exactly what both of us were talking about, because if that ball bounces off the wall back to that fielder, based on what we were looking like, there's a good chance a relay beats that runner home.
Mm-hmm.
So then the Jays have an extra out and a runner on second instead of runners on second and third. Oh, by the way, this didn't cost the Jays the World Series or even the game. They were down 3-1 when that play happened. That guy was not scoring from first. I mean, from home. The batter was not, there was not an inside the park home run happening. You got the ground rule double. You got guys on second and third. That was the best case scenario on that play, from what I saw. Then they just weren't able to convert after that. They got to bases loaded and couldn't get a guy through. So that happened a lot on both sides, back and forth. That's why this series was so interesting. I didn't see it as a controversy. I saw it as, like Robert said, somebody who knew the rules and used them to their advantage to make sure nothing happened crazy. And from what I saw, if the ball does come back off the wall like it usually does in those situations, that play probably doesn't go well for the Jays at home.
Now, Caleb, you do bring this up. But however, there has been controversy with said rule in the past where that has also been ruled as an infield home run.
So, glad you brought that up. For as many examples as you can find of where that wasn't ruled a dead ball, you're going to find probably 5 or 6 times more examples of it being ruled a ground ball, a dead ball.
Absolutely.
So those that want to go find those few clips where it's like, oh no, the ump said play, look how easy they picked it up, and that's what matters. You're going to find far more examples of it being ruled dead ball, lodged, runners get the ground rule double situation, and that's it. And that's what you're going to find way more examples of happening. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. And then you look at not controversy, but the exhale of the game, if you will, as I call it, where the whole crowd, you can hear everybody and breast held in pure silence because the Jays become, people want to say inches, that look like centimeters from winning it all at home plate.
Yeah.
And how Will Smith was able to get his foot back down after it came off home plate and then get it back down on home plate right before that slide. And it does look like, I don't hear anybody arguing about this, it does look like he beats that. Centimeters. And then the Dodgers go on to win in extra innings. Just, damn, what a series. What a series. And
I'm sorry, his foot was on the plate. He's out. He wasn't safe in any regard.
Right, he was
I
out.
just don't see it. No, I know. I just don't see it how everyone else justifying he was safe. I can't see it.
Yeah, there's no way.
You actually draw the plate out with the dust around it. He's not safe. Nowhere even near it.
Yeah, that was just wild. Wild. And then
great series.
I mean, if you're a fan of the Dodgers, and again, rooting for Ohtani, so kind of pulling for the Dodgers to win, right? But not like actually wanting them to win. I just wanted to see a good series.
I just want America to win.
That's fair. The sheer silence in the crowd when that double play happened, which, by the way, there was a stat and I couldn't find it. I know I saved it somewhere and I apologize. But this was only, I think, the third time in World Series history that the game has ended in a double play.
That's crazy.
Right? So Mookie Betts getting that double play to end it. The smile, have you guys seen the photo of him having a smile on his face after he touches second and throws it to first? Right after he releases it, he gets like this grin on his face because he knows, like he
That's
instantly
cool.
knows that's about to be out 3.
That's Mookie's third, right? He was on that 2020 team too, wasn't he?
Well, but he got one with Boston. I'm trying to remember if he has 4.
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
Was he on the COVID World Series team?
I thought
Or did he
was.
come over the year after?
Look it up, Robert.
Robert will do that for us. But I know he's got one in Boston, and he's definitely got the last 2.
Just to make sure I have this right, Mookie, Mookie.
Kie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Betts.
Mookie.
Yeah, incredible. You've got him.
18, 20, 24, and 25.
So he does have 4. So he's got 3 with the Dodgers. Kershaw's got 3 with the Dodgers.
Peace out to Kershaw.
That was going to be my final thought. And the more I look at his numbers, here, I do have this kind of pulled up. I'll read this off to you, Pinky, because this, look, I struggle with how you rank baseball players and all-time greats, and like there's so many different eras and things in baseball that you could say change, but like the game itself has never changed really, you know? But you got the dead ball eras and the steroid eras and the this and that and the others. But this is Kershaw's numbers, which, I mean, I find insanely impressive. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this puts him in some elite company in a conversation, maybe that top 5 potentially, but 3-time World Series winner, 3-time Cy Young winner, 11-time All-Star, 2011 Triple Crown, 5-time NL ERA leader, 3-time NLA wins leader, 3-time NL strikeout leader, member of the 3000 Club.
Which is tough to do nowadays.
Yep, 2011 Gold Glove, 2012 Roberto Clemente Award, which is equivalent to the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award in the NFL. A career 253 ERA and 223 wins.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, I struggle, but to me that feels like now that he's retired, his aura, his legacy feels like maybe it's going to get a little bit of a bump the way he goes out and was finishing his career. He did pitch in this postseason, unlike last year. So that helps. I know he had some of his struggles early on in his career in the postseason with the Dodgers, and the team itself just couldn't get it done.
His postseasons were not pretty.
So it'll be an interesting conversation where he ends all time as well. And then going forward, you've got the legacy of Ohtani now. And then Yamamoto. And then you have Mr. World Series and Freddie Freeman. My dude has 2 walk-off World Series home runs. One is the only Grand Slam in World Series history, and the other one is to end an 18-inning epic.
Hey, man. It's so weird. Boston didn't want Mookie Betts anymore. Braves didn't want Freddie Freeman anymore. The Yankees didn't want to pay Yamamoto $325 million.
You know,
They stopped at $300 million.
It's the tale as old as time. We see it in the NFL too. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. Like, it's just something that just continuously happens. They don't see the value in it, but yet here they are making.
Well, these are a little different because while yes, same idea, different scenarios. Because
Oh, of course. I mean,
Boston didn't
baseball
want to
scenarios
pay.
are very different.
Well, Boston didn't want to pay Mookie. He is coming off an MVP, the World Series. They decided they could do things differently with some of the other people they had. They were ready to move on and not pay him. Like Pinky said, the Yankees didn't want. They had the chance to have Yamamoto. They didn't want to pay as much. So then the Dodgers stepped in. And that goes back to the Dodgers. Look, they
know how to spend the money.
Well, yeah, because they're spending it in the future for a
Yes.
lot of their money.
Look, dude, is that the rules?
It isn't. It's within the rules. They're not doing anything that no other team can't do.
So here it is. Total payroll. Toronto was 5th. The Dodgers were 1st. I apologize. Total payroll. Dodgers were 1st. Toronto was 5th. But of their total revenue generated, the Dodgers spent 73% of that revenue on their roster, and Toronto spent 71.5%. So it's not like they're spending what they're making and putting it back into the team and doing things to improve and win. Why aren't other teams doing this?
But what's not being calculated in those numbers is the future money that is having to be paid out on some of these guys that they.
Ohtani is really the big one, and yes, that would bump them up probably closer to where the Mets are, and the Mets spent 90% of their revenue on their roster. They didn't even make the playoffs. So again, smart money doesn't equal winning money. I mean, money doesn't equal always smart money. There is dumb money. That's where I was trying to go with that. But then you got teams at the bottom of this list who are spending, oh my gosh, Pinky, look at this. Teams 10 to 30 in Major League Baseball are spending less than 50% of their revenue on their rosters. And baseball fans and stuff want to be angry at the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets for all this giant contracts and spending. But when you look at the percentages, how can you argue against that? How can you be mad at them then? When you've got all these owners spending less than 50% of what they generate back into the team and the product on the field that actually generates the money.
As we close this up, because we've probably talked about baseball way too long. At the end of the day, we've talked about it many times. Baseball should have a salary cap and a salary floor. An amount all teams have to spend at least X amount, or they get penalized for it. And they don't. They don't have it. You can spend as much as you want and pay a tax, or you can spend as little as you want and you get no repercussions except for your team sucks. So,
and I'd actually be okay with, at a minimum, no salary cap and a big floor, where you have to spend at least 70% of your revenue on your salary. And then let's see what happens.
I don't even know.
Let's see how lopsided the league is after that happens.
I think the league would just be more competitive as a whole.
Absolutely.
Because technically, if Boston wanted to get back into things, they could spend money if they really wanted to. They just haven't in the last couple of years because they spent a lot of money, got some championships, and they've kind of chilled for a little bit.
Boston spent 42.1% of their revenue on their roster. They were, however, this is where you got to look at all the numbers, okay? While that's really low, they were still 7th overall in their 2025 payroll. Like, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, you can't have every free agent, right?
No.
So there's going to be years where you do see that. And it makes perfect sense because free agents that you would have spent a lot of money on went elsewhere. Look at what the Yankees actually were able. Look, the Yankees are 3rd overall in their payroll, 362. But think about if Juan Soto had signed with them. They were able to spread that out on like 5 or 6 different dudes instead of just one. So it changes things a little bit. I mean, the Yankees only spent 49.7% of their revenue on their roster. But theirs makes a little bit more sense because who they signed and the value of those guys to fill holes after losing Soto, that's what those contracts were worth, right?
Right.
They weren't able to go get the big names. But you take a team like the Dodgers, like the Mets, like the Blue Jays, and you see all the stars on those teams. If other teams were forced to spend more, would those talents spread out more? And then the winning of those organizations would then come around towards others, and others would come down, others would go, I don't know. Do you need the salary cap for that to actually happen? I don't know, but a floor absolutely needs to be set in some capacity. And I don't know, like I gave you 2 examples of how that would be tough for them to spend more. Right. Because Boston and the Yankees did things a little bit differently this year. Guys, big names didn't want to sign with them, and they didn't want to overpay aging vets like they otherwise would have in past years, which is smart business, right? Like, so how do you do that for baseball? I don't quite know, but something's got to change. Right, because you've got the Pittsburghs, you've got the no-name athletics, the wandering athletics, the homeless athletics. You've got your...
Oh, they have a home, baby.
Not yet, they don't. They can't go anywhere right now and set down roots. Just yet.
That Vegas stadium's going to be dope. I'm going.
Marlins,
I don't even like baseball.
Marlins, the Rays. There's teams who are notorious for not spending where they could to be competitive. So what happens in the future, I don't know. But again, like Pinky said, congrats to the Dodgers. I have a hard time not saying this is the best World Series. Again, I know that's a little bit of recency bias, but there are so many things that happened. I'll throw up a post later with all the other stats I saw that, again, make this just wild. But
fun. Caleb, because you bring that up, I'm going to interject. I get the first post tomorrow morning.
Oh, go for it.
Oh,
I will not be posting tomorrow morning because I'll be on a flight. But moving on,
it's a nerd day.
Okay.
And history day, I should say.
We're gonna move quickly through the NFL trade chaos to get to the topic that we had because I really want to talk about this NFL topic, and we are running long. All right. Chargers acquired Trevor Penning from the New Orleans Saints because of the Joe Alt season-ending injury. I don't think that moves the needle at all. Trevor Penning's pretty worthless. But
well, is he worthless because he's just playing for the Saints? Like, I mean, it's a body at least. At a bare minimum, the Chargers need at least a body, right? So at least they get another body.
How many teams are willing to give up a tackle right now that's any good?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Great point.
So the Bears added Joe Tryon-Shoyinka from the Cleveland Browns. He was not good with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He hadn't been getting any playing time with the Browns. I don't know why the Bears did this, but okay.
Because Ryan Poles is their general manager, Pinky. That should be all you need to know.
I mean, it's basically a pick swap. The Browns are getting a 6th-round pick, and the Bears are getting a 7th and Joe Tryon, which tells me he's not any good because like they're not really getting anything.
I don't care what anybody says. Ryan Polis looked into this roster. And I can give you step by step of how that happened. So that's why what you're saying right now, Pinky, is all you need to know. Ryan Polis.
This one I love.
Hmm.
I love this trade where the Seattle Seahawks went out and got Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints.
Let's do it.
They did give up a 4th and a 5th, which is a decent amount. But
He can play.
well, he does a couple things really well. He returns kicks and punts, and he's a deep threat. And when you can run a deep threat down the field, that leaves JSN wide open in the middle of the field. Perfection.
Along with what looks like both of their tight ends at times they can get the ball to. And is Horton going to be looking a little bit more like a weapon now too?
Yes.
And Cooper Kupp's out. So Cooper Kupp could still come back, and then that wide receiver core and being able to spread people out looks even more dangerous when just a couple weeks ago we were talking about, they got some pieces that maybe the tight end, maybe some other, but really it's just JSN. And now we're looking at it like,
So I really like that. A move that I don't know for the Jaguars, they got Jacoby Myers from the Raiders.
Raiders suck.
But you're giving up a 4th and a 6th.
Yeah, I don't.
For him.
That just shows you to me how terribly this roster's been assembled. And I mean that from top to bottom, every move made, and that includes the Travis Hunter deal, which I said at the trade on draft night, I don't hate that at all. You're going to use him in 2 different positions. He's going to be elite. The last game, before he got injured in practice this week, he started to really look like he was getting the hang of this wide receiver thing. They still weren't using him at cornerback, so then you're like, all right, you're probably wasting that trade, but it's not awful. Now he's injured. Now they're probably going to pull him back even more than they were already doing in the beginning of the year. Is it because he was overused, or is it just a fluke injury? Like, so many things are wrong with Jacksonville. Why do you give up that for don't get me wrong, Jacoby Myers is a good wide receiver. But he's not going to move the needle as far as them making a run.
Here's the kicker. He's on the last year of his deal.
I know.
So not only did you give up a 4th and a 6th, you also have to pay him if you want him to stay.
And you didn't trade Brian Thomas, so you either let him walk or you have to give him money, and he's not going to ask for nothing. That's why the Raiders were willing to move him, because he kind of held fast with wanting his money. And it makes no sense. That trade makes no sense to me from the Jaguars' perspective. Good on the Raiders, though. They need picks, and they need to be able to fill a lot of roster spots right now.
The Ravens acquired Draymond Jones from Tennessee. They need help on defense. I feel like this is a trade that helps both teams. Tennessee, if he's there or not, it's not helping. And so the Ravens getting an interior defensive lineman, that's probably pretty good for them. So I like that trade. Then we go to the Dallas Cowboys, where Jerry Jones had already said before their game last night that a trade had already been done and they had another one coming. I'm like, well, Jerry, that might be cool, but like if you lose to the freaking Cardinals, what does it matter?
Hurts.
So they go out and got Logan Wilson, who happened to be playing for the arguably worst defense in the league, coming to the second. Actually, he wasn't even playing. He was benched.
He wasn't getting a lot of time on the field at this point in time. Now, is that because he's not good, or is that because the Bengals just don't know what they're doing and they're trying to move younger directions and so on and so what? I don't know. But odd move.
And
linebacker, they need linebacker help. So is that just a body? Is a body better than nothing? I don't know.
And then the Cowboys went out and got Quinnen Williams from the Jets.
Which, if we're being honest with ourselves, based on where he was drafted, his expectations, and his production, they overpaid. They got fleeced on the Micah deal, and then they overpaid for Keenan Williams. Now, could he turn it around and live up to his draft potential finally? Sure. And then is that a good deal for them? Absolutely. But as of this moment, he has underachieved.
Yeah, and you're taking on, it's about $70 million that they're taking on with that. They're getting rid of a second and a first. Now, they got rid of Mozzie Smith, which he sucks, so that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like, he wasn't even on the field, so that's fine. I don't see this helping them.
Look, it's a D lineman. You know how we feel about the trenches. I'm all about that. It's just, we're just talking about smart money, right, Robert, with baseball. Was this the smart money?
No.
I mean, I get it's an interior D lineman, and that's my heart. I love it.
Well,
but if we're talking, you're gonna give that up. Wouldn't you be trying to make calls to, I don't know, Cleveland? I don't know, Las Vegas? And maybe
you
willing to overpay
calls
ever so slightly for some names in those two places?
Exactly. Because there's no sense in just paying for a short-term deal, which is essentially what this is going to be, right?
2 years. They got 2 years.
Yeah, injury, bearing, right? But
he's been pretty healthy though, so I don't think that's an issue for this guy.
But for Dallas, they're caught in the same cycle. They keep making the same deals in different ways to, this is going to help us. This is going to make us be that team that has this missing piece all of a sudden. They're not doing anything to invest in a long-term gain for anything that actually matters. They're just trying to fill a void temporarily to get through a season or two. They're not building a team up to be successful. And at the end of the day, that's all Dallas has done. They're not building a team. They're like, oh, hey, we're going to take from this, this, and this. Let's put it in the pot and let's hope it works. Well, it hasn't, and it doesn't work. And it's been continuously proven that Dallas isn't going to invest in the future at all. They're going to invest in the here and now, or maybe 2 seasons from now. But they're not making any forward progression. To be honest with you, based off of what I just watched the other night, they're regressing. You lost at home to a QB number 2, and Arizona looked good. They looked, in a primetime game against the Dallas Cowboys at home, and you're telling me that Arizona's going to put up those numbers?
I would have said that Dallas would have scored more points than the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
I didn't think I thought the Cardinals would put up points on the boys' defense because that defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
But I thought the Cowboys would outscore them.
But
they just couldn't.
Dallas looked. Dak had some throws last night that, there was one. I can't remember what point in the game it was, but it was down to Pickens on the 5 or 10 or something like that, and a ball that Dak would normally zip right into him and hit him in the chest as he's running back to the ball floated, and he had to literally stop and jump up for it, and it cost them the ability to maybe a touchdown or at least another 4 or 5 yards, being able to turn and go. Dak looked off last night. Balls were hitting some guys' hands, and they weren't catching him cleanly when they were catching him, so then they were losing that yak. The offensive line, what looked good the last couple of weeks, looked like it couldn't really create any running lanes this week. Now, is that credit to Gannon and his scheme and a defense that we said could be feisty this year, but hasn't necessarily really shown up the way maybe we thought it would look a little more competitive in some, maybe. I don't know. That Dallas offense has been inconsistent all season. So does it say
at home?
Well, okay, fine. To me, I don't care home or road. To me, that means nothing. And the fact that people always try to.
Hey, they average 40 at home. It's usually something that you can hang your hat on. But That was
What
pretty
is it
awful.
though? Like, is it Dallas' inconsistent offense? Is Arizona like, at the beginning of the year, I said they might be a little bit of a dark horse to get into the playoffs and cause some little bit of a chaos situation. They haven't looked like that this season.
They might now that they finally did what I know is right. Kyler sucks, and I've said that for a while. He sucks.
Well, let's move into that, Pinky. Let's move into that because I
Hold on,
asked
hold
you
on.
guys.
We got one more. We have one more.
Okay, fine. Terrible. That was a great transition.
But this is the biggest trade of the day.
Was it though?
It was. I don't like it, but I want to know what your thought is. The Colts acquired Sauce Gardner from the New York Jets for 2 first-round picks.
And AD Mitchell.
If the Jets suck 10 years from now, they will forever suck. Because of all of the first round picks and second round picks that they have going for them in the next 8 years is ridiculous. Absolutely asinine.
Well,
and they can't win.
Hey, the guy that's the GM of the Jets has cut his teeth with the Broncos the last decade. So he might know a thing or two. We'll see. I hate this deal for the Colts myself. These deals don't normally work out for the team that's trading for these players. I think maybe you could say Jalen Ramsey worked out when he got traded to the Rams.
What do you mean maybe worked out? Did they not win a Super Bowl?
They did, but after that he wasn't that good anymore.
Who cares? Did they win a Super Bowl? Hey, you know my feelings, man. If you want to go all in and it gets you a ring, I'm good with what happens after it.
I mean, the Stafford Goff trade even
that was a pretty good even trade for both teams.
I don't know about that.
That's an even trade for both teams.
I know where you're going with this, Pinky, and I think here's the difference. A lot of the times when these trades happen, the star player isn't going to a team that feels like they're very much in contention to go all in and win it. Very rarely does that happen. So for the Colts to basically push all their chips in right now on what in the past couple of years people have argued is the best cornerback in the league. Now, I know you don't agree with that, and I understand why. You think he's a little too handsy and gets away with it a lot, and that is...
Well, but he hasn't gotten away with it this year. He's gotten called quite a bit this year.
I don't know if that's as much him or just the defense and frustration and him not playing up to his level. Hard to say, but not going to have any more excuses playing in Indy. They've been playing well, and that defense specifically has been playing well for the most part. So, you look at this last weekend, and the Colts, what did they hold them to? 24? Pittsburgh scored 24, I think?
27.
27, and one of those was a defensive or special teams touchdown, wasn't it? And then 3 short field touchdowns. I mean, Danny Dimes had 4 turnovers or 5 turnovers all by himself.
The Colts had 6 total.
So, and your defense still managed to give you an opportunity to win the game. I think this is a big addition. It lets that front eat even more, hopefully, is the idea. More single coverage potentially, which allows you to shift coverages and things of that nature to other areas if you need to. Makes you a little bit more versatile. Even if he's not the best corner in the league, you would still say he's top 10, would you not? I mean, I think that's fair at a minimum.
Fair. That's fair.
So here's why I threw an AD Mitchell, though. Because regardless of whether or not he's a good player right now, he was a second-round draft pick 2 drafts ago. So they basically gave up 2 firsts and a second to go all in with this corner. Now, he is signed, so they do have his rights for a little bit here. So that's also a bonus. And we all know what he's signed to is only going to get cheaper and more beneficial for the team as the salary cap increases. So I don't think the trade in and of itself is necessarily as bad as maybe it sounds like when you're talking about giving up that level of picks, because in the end, if the Colts are as good as they think they are and they do all the things they hope to, even if they don't win the Super Bowl, where's that pick at, Pinky?
It'll be in the 20s.
Late 20s?
It'll be in the 20s. I don't think... I'm still not high on the Colts.
I'm just saying if they get to where they believe this does for them, right? In their mind, if they get to the Final Four, then that's almost a second-round pick that they gave up. So the reason I brought up the A.D. Mitchell thing is, in their eyes, they basically gave up 3 seconds to an extent for what they believe is a top 10 corner in the league. If you put it like that, doesn't sound as bad, does it? Now, they have to go out and win, right? Otherwise, it could get really bad. But I think that's the thought process here, and given that thought process, I can't be mad at it. Now, does Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, who shows up? The pumpkin or the carriage? Because Indiana Jones is the carriage. Danny Dimes is the pumpkin. Which one are you going to get going forward? Is this just one bad game? And Pitt's $100 million defense finally showed up for a weekend?
They got pressure on him. They got pressure on him a lot.
And a lot of people are trying to say this is the best offensive line in the league. So it could just be a really good defensive game plan that just terrorized. And like you've talked about in the past, Pinky, matchups matter. Different schemes and matchups matter because no matter how good you are, you might be the best team in the league. You could play the 10th best team in the league, but that matchup is not good for you. And it could go wrong for you 9 times out of 10, regardless of how good you both are. So maybe this is just Indy's matchup, and they don't ever want to see that again. And as long as they don't, they're good.
We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of it. In the past, history is not on their side in most cases. So we shall see. All right, Robert, we're going to have some fun with you. I need your participation on this topic specifically.
Okay.
Because you're more of the casual fan than Caleb and I.
Bring it.
When we talk about all 32 teams, and do they have a franchise quarterback?
Ooh.
I want to get your vote and Caleb's vote, and we'll see what happens. I'll be the tiebreaker if needed.
All right.
You ready?
We're gonna do all 32, right? I want to.
We're gonna.
Yes, this is what I want.
We still got to give Robert some time for nonsense. So let's start off in the NFC East. We got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
We've
outside
got
Dan, never mind. We're not.
Jackson Dart and the Giants.
Potential.
No.
I need another season.
No.
I need one more season.
I'm not sure, but I think they're like going back to what Caleb's talked about with Darnold and Baker and all these guys. Like they don't really have a complete team around them. We're not sure about the head coach. I don't know if Dart's set up for success, but he's been fun to watch so far.
I'm not saying he might not be there. I'm saying right now, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Then we got Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Yes.
He probably. I think he's a leader, but there is something weird about him.
No.
And then we've got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a no.
We should have been keeping track of this. Robert, grab a notepad and mark down our. We need Pinky. Are you doing this? We need to know where we end up.
Okay. Hang on.
I'm calling out the names.
I just need to know how many franchise quarterbacks we think there are in the league.
Okay, so Philly, yes. Dallas,
Yes.
question mark. Yes. Okay. Giants,
No.
no.
Commanders,
Yes.
kind of. We'll see.
Well, you're the tiebreaker.
I mean, yes, but he's. I mean, at the moment right now, it doesn't look good.
I am, and it's funny you say that because I'm like 51% yes with Daniels. Nah, I'm probably more like 65, 70. And with Jackson Dart, I'm like 49% no. I mean, 51% no, 49%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm right there with Jackson Dart.
I've seen some things from Jackson Dart that give me some. I've got some good vibes.
Just not sold all the way yet.
Ready? All right. NFC South. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we got Carolina, Bryce Young.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. No, it is. Then we got Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons.
Questionable.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
And then we've got the New Orleans Saints, and who knows?
Okay.
Do they have a
Definitely not.
quarterback?
I don't think they do. I actually don't think Spencer Rattler's played that bad.
He hasn't, but they don't have a franchise, that's for sure.
Yeah, no franchise quarterback in New Orleans. All right. Then we got the NFC North. You got Jared Goff and the Lions.
Yes.
We got
Yes.
Green Bay and Jordan Love.
Yes.
Yes.
Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams.
No.
No.
No, it is. And then we've got Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy.
No.
No.
No. And then the NFC West. We have the Arizona Cardinals and Jacoby Brissett.
Kyler Murray. No.
We've got the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy.
Yes.
No.
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 Been there one too many times. He's failed each time, and now he's injury ridden. I don't think he's ever going to be that level again.
I don't know if he's
think
injury
they need to
riddled,
move
but I
on.
think he needs too much perfect.
I
I think he needs too much perfect around him to be really good. That's not a franchise quarterback, in my opinion.
It's time to shake
I
hands.
think it's funny you guys say that because he is Jared Goff. And you think Jared Goff is a franchise quarterback, but you don't think Brock Purdy is. You switch them right now, and Purdy looks good and Goff looks bad.
I mean, I said no. You said yes. Pinky's deciding.
He said no to Purdy.
All right.
Yeah.
No to Purdy. Too many injuries. Then we've got the LA Rams and Matt Stafford.
Yes.
So-
Yes, for as long as he plays.
Yeah, like it's like yes, but no.
That's a loaded question.
Like a franchise quarterback kind of means you're gonna play for a
Okay,
while.
how about this? In this specific case, because of the history, he is the franchise quarterback. Like he is.
Yeah, I mean they do have one. It's just that's an odd one because it's like they do, but how much longer?
But the answer is yes. So
Yeah.
moving on. Next question.
The Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, baby.
They sure do.
Robert was
I'm
very excited about that.
I'm drinking the Darnie tea. I won't lie.
All right, moving over to the AFC. We've got the New England Patriots and Drake.
Yeah.
I'm not against him, so I will say yes.
It's yes, Robert. I'll just help you out on that. It's yes. Then we've got the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
We have the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa.
No.
But they can't get rid of him.
All that dead money though.
Oh, dude, it'd be $99 million if they tried to get rid of him right now.
Gross.
So, then we got the New York Jets and Justin Fields.
No.
That felt good. Okay. The AFC South, we have the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud.
Yes.
No. Break the tie, Pinky.
I'm going to go with no. I got to believe you because I know you're a Stroud guy.
All right.
The Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Definitely not. The Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward.
No.
9. And then the Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Jones.
Yes.
No.
Not yet. There's a verge there, but last week gave me slight pause as far as franchise.
I feel like we've got that. He's on that. He's the Darnold line again. Not the Darnold line.
The Dalton line. He might reset the Dalton line for you going forward.
Where like if everything else is really good around him, he can win you games, get you the playoffs. But that's really about it. That's where you can be.
And that's we'll get there at the end of this. Let's finish up because there's a
All
way
right.
there's a reason I want to bring all this up.
Baltimore Ravens.
Absolutely.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Duh.
Then you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Technically, yes, this year, but no. because he's gone. He's going to be gone. Although they want him back. Then we've got the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow.
Hot take? No.
It's not as hot as you think it is. Yes. Only because when he does play, he is such a difference maker, but it's real close to no at this point.
Yes, I can't go on. Joey B's my guy. Can't go against my guy.
It is moving closer to that line, though, than you would like it to.
Absolutely true. It's a conversation.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Cleveland Browns and nobody.
Shador Sanders, yes.
No. But at this point, after another game or two of Gabriel, why not Sanders? Like, throw him in there, see what you got.
Although
Shador?
didn't
Shador, are you there? Shador?
weren't the offensive play calling abilities just handed over?
Who cares? Dylan Gabriel ain't it, and I'll get to that here in a second as well.
We don't have that much time. We got nonsense.
We're good. We're good.
We've got a couple moments. All right. Then we got the AFC West, where you've got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City
Yes.
Chiefs. If you said no to that, like, I can't help you.
Yeah, I can't
help you. You've got the Chargers and
Yes.
Justin Herbert. You've got the Raiders and Geno Smith.
No.
And then we've got our Broncos and Bo Nix.
Yes.
Yes.
Boom.
All right. Go ahead and start the next topic. Let me
That's
tally.
all 32.
Yeah, Tally. Couple things on that, Pinky. Couple conversation. Tea and crumpets. Sit down and dissect this, if you will. Not once did we say a QB under 6 foot was franchise. I am now very much under the opinion that you cannot play as a quality quarterback in the NFL if you are under 6 feet. And this is not to belittle guys that are shorter. I'm under 6 feet. But the fact that the offensive and defensive linemen are as ginormous as they are, the throwing lanes and windows are so limited, and the timing of those windows are so limited that you instantly limit yourself on your overall potential of what you can be as an offense. Because you can't just stand in the pocket and sling it for any play. You have to have specific windows and timing to open up in order for those throws to be made a lot of times. And so that 10 to 15 yard window, 10 to 20 yard window that can really start carving up a defense and softening it up and opening it up for the run game and the deep ball becomes almost non-existent. And I never used to believe this. You know how I felt about Kyler Murray. I think he's shown some insanely good flashes. I think Tua's shown some good flashes, actually, with his accuracy and timing abilities.
This is interesting.
So,
but on a whole, I just don't think you can be a franchise guy and truly lead a team to success because of how limited it makes you at that position.
So the line has to be 6'1".
Why?
Because you've got at 6'1", you have Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams, and Tua.
Okay.
Kyler.
Oh, Tua's listed as 6'1", my ass.
That's what he's listed at.
I
don't think he is 6'1" because I met him. He's definitely not 6'1".
There is no way in hell that dude is 6'1".
Because I'm 5'11" and he wasn't bigger than me.
Dude.
But that's what this article says. It does say the prototypical is about 6'2", at least 6'2".
I just am now under the belief you got to be over 6 foot to be truly something that's going to be able to.
Well, you definitely can't be like 5'9" like Bryce Young.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, what are the totals? How many franchise quarterbacks are there?
8 in the NFC.
8 in the NFC.
7 in the AFC.
Pinky, we really are in the golden age of quarterback play. Because we've got basically half the league with a franchise quarterback. And I would say out of the half that doesn't, you and I both would probably pick at least half of that group as a quality starter that we feel we could go win a Super Bowl with.
Or at least get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So starting with the NFC, we said yes to Philly, said
Jalen
yes
Hurts, yeah.
to Dallas,
Yeah.
Dak, yeah.
said yes to the Commanders, yes to
That's
Tampa.
a close one, but yeah.
Yes to Tampa, yes to the
Baker.
Lions, yes to
Goff.
Green Bay,
Love.
yes to the Rams, yes
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Seattle.
Yep. I think
Then-
people will still argue with us on Darnold because
in
of their playoffs last
Sure.
year. And I think that would be what they try to use, and totally ignoring how bad the Vikings offensive line is.
I still think he's like, so now this is franchise versus elite quarterbacks.
Yes.
And I do think there's a line there.
There's a difference.
I do think the elite quarterbacks don't need as much around them to still be elite. Whereas you can be a franchise quarterback, but you still need, like, I've seen moments where Darnold under pressure, but a lot of quarterbacks under pressure are not great.
Would you not, or could I not have you sit down and actually listen to an argument, though, that Darnold is on the verge of being elite because he only has JSN?
I mean, I've seen
He's
him.
got Kenneth Walker.
They've been very inconsistent on offense this year. I know our most recent game, he ripped up the Commanders, but their defense is not good to begin with. So,
I'm just saying, could you at least sit down and listen to a conversation without just looking at the person and calling him an idiot?
I'll sit here and drink a whiskey and, listen to some points. You may not win me over, but I'll listen. Before we move on to nonsense, and this was a fun topic, Robert, you said you had a Dan Quinn take that you felt was pretty hot. And I'm curious. I spent like hours thinking about, like, Robert's got a Dan Quinn take. Like, where'd that come from?
This is my thing. When your team really can't seem to demonstrate that they've got an offensive capability in the game and you're down in the fourth quarter, why are you playing your starter? Why? Because now you have a very tall task to overcome. You're sitting here making your quarterback the face of your team right now. The Commanders last year they played solid. They weren't great, but they were enough to do some damage. Now you're here halfway through the season. You're losing a game dead to rights. There is no way that you're going to come back from this. At least that I have vision to see. And you're risking your quarterback and you're getting lit up. Play after play after play. I mean, it's tale as old as time, right? You're going to put yourself in the situation 99 times out of 100, you're safe. That one time, though, that's it. Dan Quinn, I think, should have pulled him 5 plays before that.
That's the argument. This is not a hot take, Robert. This is.
I know it's. I mean, it's just. I know it's the argument, but like that's just my thing. Is like Dan Quinn. That is a A-list fuck up. And
this. So, I'm gonna give him a little bit of grace and just. There's a lot of quarterbacks that will say, "No, coach, let me go. This offense, we need to make something positive happen to at least feel something good about this game." Now, at the end of the day, what does the head coach got to do? He's got to protect the player from himself. Jaden Daniels, I'm sure, is a competitor. Most quarterbacks are competitors. And they don't want to come out of the game even if they're down 38-7, right?
Sure.
But when you're down 38-7 with 7 minutes left, like, come on now. Like, you're not... The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter, but they started at the beginning of the fourth quarter, not halfway through it, right? You're not going to score 30 points in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes left. It's just not going to happen. So, yes, you are right. There should have been no reason for him to be in the game. That was an awful injury. It's a freak injury. But also, it comes back to, again, I have always felt Jaden Daniels is a slight quarterback to play the game the way he plays. To run the ball as much as he runs at that
Not
slight
wrong.
frame, which is again what I had an issue with Lamar Jackson when he first came out as well, because he had a slight frame when he first started. He's bulked up some now, but Lamar does something that quarterbacks struggle with. He keeps himself safe. He doesn't take a lot of those unnecessary hits. Jaden's going to have to learn from that. And I do think what's crazy, Jaden Daniels and Robert Griffin III were hurt on the same, like, it was like crazy. The same yard line, the same, like, all. There was so much parallels to Robert Griffin the third's injury and Jaden's injury time frame. It was crazy to think about. So, you're absolutely right, Robert. Dan Quinn should have pulled Jaden and said, nope, I got to protect you from yourself. That's why we're paying Marcus Mariota like $8 million, is to take hits and mop up time. Yeah. You don't need to do it. So,
agreed.
It's a bummer for Commanders fans. They'll have to wait again until next year. Now, again, we didn't think the Commanders would be that great this year. After next season, harder schedule, second year, didn't make the best upgrades, and they had the oldest roster in the league. Yep. Those are not good combinations.
No, not at all.
Couple quick points. I know we got to do it quickly, and then we'll move on. Robert, only to play devil's advocate because I don't necessarily disagree with your stance. But here's also something I thought about. Technically speaking, the game was not over. The Commanders still, technically speaking, there's a couple things that could have gone their way and they could have won the game. This is why I'm bringing it up, Pinky. Listen. Yes, they absolutely could have. Crazier things have happened. No, stop. Crazier things have happened in NFL games than where that score was at that time.
38-7 with 7 minutes left. Nobody has come back from that. Nobody. That was
not the score when that injury happened.
It was 38-7. Yes, it was.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, it was 38-7, bro. I was watching the game.
Either way, they score there 38-14, completely different game. Things change.
Not with
just
7 minutes
hear me
left.
out. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Just stop with getting so angry for no reason. Easy.
Well, you're wrong. So that's
I'm not.
Let him have his take. Hang on, I'm very curious.
Nobody thought the Patriots could come back in the Super Bowl. Crazier things have happened. The Titans back in the day with the Bills. Crazier things have happened. Things happen in this game that there's enough time left that maybe something wild happened. This is where I'm going with this. Fans don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to say we should have pulled our starter because there's no chance we win that game, but then be mad when your team's tanking to try and get better. Either your starters play because they're getting paid and they're professionals and that's what you do, or it is okay to rest your starters and pull them because you do want to possibly lose some games because you know you're not that good and you want to get better by getting some draft picks. You can't have it both ways. Either it's acceptable or it's not. Each situation is different and you can do it in this time, but you can't do it in this time. It's acceptable because you're going to lose this game, but it's not acceptable because you want a better draft pick. Like that's crazy to me. That's absolutely bonkers to me. So in that scenario, I don't hate what Dan Quinn did at all. Totally understand though that the right thing to do would have been to just pull your starters and put in whoever you have on your bench. But if you do that any other time, it's considered wrong, and you can't, and it's not allowed. Like, I hate that beyond all things.
Fair enough. Caleb, just so you are aware, 7 minutes and 39 seconds were on the clock when he got injured, and it was 38-7.
That's a lot of time in an NFL game.
Never happened before.
Couple stops, you score 21 points. All of a sudden, it's 38. 35.
The best I ever saw was Peyton Manning putting up 21 against the Bucs on, I think it was Monday Night Football, in 4 minutes. That's the best I've ever seen. 31 points in 7. Haven't seen it yet.
That's
you
5
say 31 in 7 minutes. It was 14. They got a touchdown after he got hurt, didn't they?
I don't think they did. I don't know. After he got hurt, I was kind of done at that point.
Well, okay, fine. But he doesn't get hurt. They're on, the 4-yard line where he gets hurt? He stays in the game. They get it in. It's 7 minutes. It's 14:38. I'm just saying, like, either you play the whole game out to win it, or it is acceptable to pull guys and admit defeat. And it
That
shouldn't
would've been the
matter
time
what
to
that
admit defeat.
situation is.
So coming back to what happens when you're a coach, it's genius when it works, and you're an idiot when it doesn't.
Oh, that's
In this
true.
case-
That's
in this
that's
In this
that
case,
is
he was
definitely
an
true,
idiot,
coaches,
right?
for sure, for sure, for sure.
Robert, we've got nonsense. Let us know what's
Yes.
going on, partner.
All right. So first and foremost, I do need to put this out in the world to our F1 people. Our Ferrari boy Charles Leclerc is engaged. That was the only off the track action we had this weekend. So we purport always
she pretty
support
hot?
families and stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're all hot.
Yeah.
They're all hot.
There's a
Come
race
on.
coming up this weekend that's supposed to be rain, which is down, 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 down.
Max
Verstappen.
Verstappen. I'm so ready. Which Pinky, we're gonna have to figure out how to watch that in Seattle, bro. Well, we're tailgating, so it's gonna have to happen.
What time's the race?
I
It's
believe
in Brazil.
it kicks off at our time.
We're
That's our
in-
time though, so it would be one.
We're in the game. Like that's
It's at 9 a.m.
Oh, dude,
It's 9 a.m.
go get some mimosas and some breakfast, watch a race, and then go over to the stadium and watch the game.
We could
Let's
probably
do it.
make a 9 a.m. race. No, we're not heading over till probably like 11 or 12. So we can make that.
The race will be over.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. We
Like,
can
let's
make it
go.
work, Robert. If it's on at 9 a.m., we can make it work.
It's a 9 a.m. race.
Eggs,
9 a.m.
bacon, mimosas, Bloody Marys, and then
and-
move straight into tailgating for the
and-
game.
And
Brilliant
Caleb,
day. Are you
Caleb
kidding me?
will back me up on this. Like at this point in time, with where we're at, because there's 4 races left. Yeah, 4. There's 4 races left. This is prime time F1 racing, and Max better pull off some miracle shit. That's all I'm saying.
If it's rain,
but
that would be
anyways-
very interesting.
Let me
Anyways,
check-
I just had to put that out there. I'm super excited. F1 is awesome.
let me check our tickets. Let me see what time the game is. It's at
right.
1:05 their time.
Yeah, their time.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
We got
so
time.
we should be good.
We got time.
Wait,
can have
that race,
Uber-
does it start at 9 Pacific?
Yeah, it starts 10
Perfect.
a.m. MS
Yeah,
Mountain.
That's
So,
perfect.
yeah, we're good.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. That works
Yeah.
out fine.
Find a
Um,
place close to the stadium that you can get some breakfast and ask them to put the
No,
F1 race on.
We'll just do it at the Airbnb, man.
That too.
Okay, fine.
There's a grocery store nearby. We can go by and get everything we need and have a little breakfast and mimosas, and then we can get an Uber to the game.
If it's on the TV
I'm
there,
game.
if they have the
I'll-
channel
I got-
for it.
I've got
Cody.
ESPN.
Yeah.
I will make sure we watch it, Caleb.
We can log in. I've got Cody's login.
I'm just trying to make sure you guys are thinking about all scenarios. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, okay?
You're talking to sports fanatics, bro. We got this. There will be a way to watch, one way or another. But anyway, just had to finish that off for the sports side of it. Going into nonsense side of things. So just a couple quick breaking news hitters for us this evening. Boys, we are getting a Mummy sequel with the original couple. Rachel Weisz is coming back.
What about her brother? Her brother was the funniest.
That hasn't been announced yet. We only know Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser are returning. I
He's
imagine
hilarious.
he will be coming in with it as well.
He's hilarious.
However,
He's gotta be in there.
It would
That-
be a slight bummer if he wasn't, but completely okay because we're getting the 2 we actually need. We don't even need their son, but I wouldn't be mad if he came back.
Well, so the
because
talk.
it's technically 2 different actors that have now played that role.
So the talk is what they're gonna do is that's not canon. Is what this essentially might go forward. So that I'm super excited that was announced. Brendan Fraser making his comeback journey has been phenomenal. I will always support him, and Rachel Weisz is. I mean, she's married to James Bond, so like she's beautiful anyway, and she's been gorgeous since the very first Mummy. So
That
like
is
you can't
true.
go wrong.
That is true.
They're
She's
beautiful
like
human
next door
specimens.
gorgeous, so.
Oh yeah, it hurts. So excited for that. Come talk to me for any of the updates for when that starts rolling because I will have them all.
Yo, straight up, that's to Hollywood forever doing our guy Brendan Fraser dirty.
Well,
And thank
yes.
God there's enough fandom out there that he was basically forced to return, and
I mean-
somebody reached out to him to allow. And I still haven't seen it, heard great things about it, but the whale roll and
I haven't
bringing
seen it
him back.
myself.
Regardless, I don't care if it's good or bad. What your opinion is about it. It's great for the simple fact that it got Brendan Fraser back into something that he is so good at.
Yes.
And portraying roles on screen to bring joy to others is something that I don't care who you are. I don't think you can argue with. He is a great actor.
Yeah. No, I would agree. Brendan Fraser, I mean, he was one of my staplehoods in my childhood. I mean, I grew up with him and I loved his movies. So I'm excited for this. The Mummy's something that I still put on frequently in my spare time if I feel it. So I'm there for it. I'm excited. I'm curious to see if he's gonna get jacked for the role. That would be a trip. I'm excited. I love the Universal Monster Universe. I feel like the Mummy has a lot. I wish that Universal would do more with that that setting, but we'll see what
butchered it
happens.
so bad with the Mummy remake.
Oh, with Tom Cruise, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Concept, cool.
Speaking of remakes and where we're going into the next conversation,
Movie
which
not.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Caleb. So, Star Trek fans, you may be crying with absolute disgust, or you may be rejoicing as Caleb is. The Kelvin timeline has ended. We are no longer going to get a Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, or Zoe Saldana Star Trek 4. I feel like it's a little disappointing. I'm actually really, really sad by that. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch's role as Khan really should have been tapped into more. I really wish that was something that they really kept going. I know not a lot of people enjoyed the last movie, Beyond. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I really wish that they still kind of kept telling some of the other storylines in the what if side of it. But Star Trek itself is still alive and well in other mediums on Paramount. The animated show is fantastic. Their live action TV is awesome. If you haven't checked those out, I can't recommend them enough. But who knows when we're going to get another full-fledged motion picture Star Trek film. So, Star Trek fans, maybe some time. But we're at least getting some good content in the meantime. So,
to clarify really quickly, not necessarily happy we're not getting a fourth installment because I like the characters and didn't actually hate the movies per se. I cannot stand J.J. Abrams at this point. I truly believe he is one of the sole issues that the sequels were so bad with Star Wars. And the fact that his first movie had basically no original thought whatsoever put into it, completely set up the next three movies for failure to begin with. Whatever he had envisioned for the three, he obviously didn't communicate well with the next person doing the movies. And then what he finished it off with was complete trash. So for him to not get a fourth movie for Star Trek, I'm totally cool with. He earned that in my mind. I also know there's a lot of Star Trek truthers that didn't like anything he did with Star Trek. Not even close. And I knew nothing about Star Trek, so I had nothing to compare it to. So as far as I'm concerned, they're entertaining movies. Like Pinky said, I can throw it on and be entertained. But based on what he did with something I know, and it was obvious that there was no original thought put into it, and he just tried to make it look good, and whatever big brain ideas he has are always bad. Like, honestly, you guys have a certain person that you think is not a good filmmaker who keeps getting chances, and he recently did a Star Wars spinoff that was not great. J.J. Abrams is no different than that said person, in my mind. Yet he's looked at fondly by a lot of people, and Zack Snyder is not.
Oh, well, Zack Snyder... Zack Snyder is a good storyteller, but he is just like George Lucas.
No, he's an awful storyteller.
He's got great ideas, but he can't portray his vision, just like George Lucas, which is why the prequels suck.
Look, Zack Snyder's movies are usually
really
visually
They're great
stunning.
now.
No, they always were. What, Pinky? Sorry.
Zack Snyder's movies are visually stunning, but the story and the dialogue and everything else is just garbage.
Yeah,
the concept's great. Sucker Punch could be great. Rebel Moon could be great.
Sucker Punch is actually underrated in my opinion, but
And Caleb, and you know, I'm glad that you kind of bring that up, and we'll take a quick segue there before I get back to what some of the other topics here. When you had brought up that Netflix is exploring buying some Warner Brothers IP, and this all of a sudden resurgence of you know, the Snyderverse coming through. The only real reason is because the Snyder heads are so infatuated with his movie making that because Netflix has a creative control over his Rebel Moon, that would also give them creative control for the DC verse, which will not happen. James Gunn will not allow that. Warner
does
Brothers.
James Gunn even have a say in it, though? I mean, honestly,
he
if
is
somebody
the
wants to make some
Feige.
money and sell some IPs,
Warner Brothers is stupid. Warner Brothers is stupid. They're not that stupid.
So, for those wondering, I saw some rumors, and when I hear what we call nonsense, anything that's not sports, rumors, pop culture, movies, whatever, I reach out to Robert real quick and I say, hey, is this a legit site? Are your sources hearing anything like this? Or am I just seeing some, what I would know in the sports world as being obviously a ridiculous, fake, nonsense news story? He helps me weed through those. Saw some of this going on with...
needs.
Yeah. Saw some of this going on with the potential of the Snyderverse returning because of the sale and the split of what's happening. And my question to Robert was, even if it's not true, could there potentially be something there in the future because of the revenue generation that could come from two competing DC universes that obviously have very strong fan bases, and then seeing who wins out in the end? It was just a thought, because again, while I might know a little bit about Marvel, I basically know nothing about DC. I know characters, but when it comes to lore and stuff, I don't know nothing. So I was genuinely curious if that was something that he could see potentially maybe working. Because in my mind, the Snyder cut of Justice League with Darkseid and you actually seeing where the story was supposed to be told from was actually a pretty damn good movie.
It shouldn't have taken 8 hours to tell, but yes.
Argue that one way or the other, that's fine. But I think there's enough people, and the rumors I was hearing is execs are still really fond and fascinated of Snyder and his universe. So if those same execs still get to keep power, could Robert see this happening? And he very bluntly and quickly told me no. And I don't doubt him at all. But I couldn't help but see something and wonder, because in sports world specifically, you see it happening all the time. In science fiction even, because I love Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and stuff. You see things try to copy and emulate that very quickly to make a buck. Some
Absolutely.
end up being spin-offs that are actually quality. Others fizzle and die very quickly, but they cashed in.
Now,
we've never seen it be two true titans at the same time of the same thing going head to head. And that would be, I think, would be super cool to see.
And Caleb, and in your defense, and this is something that I was actually saving for the show to actually bring to you, because while I say with a definitive no, this cannot happen, there is still the public domain. Now, I'm not familiar with all the copyrights and things with DC. That's still something that I'm working through and trying to understand in my own time. But as an example for you, so Disney's public domain has recently become something of controversy because Winnie the Pooh has entered the public domain. Mickey Mouse has entered the public domain. And now you're getting these very twisted, debauched versions of these characters that can exist because of their licensing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can that happen? Yes. Where we're at right now in that timeline of things, I'm not sure. Because you also did have the quote-unquote Superman horror movie that came out back in
that was good.
Which, funny enough, James Gunn produced, which was Brightburn.
That was good.
Yeah, that was 2019. Where it was, what if Superman was evil? And basically went off that.
Brightburn was what if Superman was evil?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wasn't that the Will Smith movie with the alien?
No. That's After Earth.
Oh.
No, Brightburn is with I'll send it to you,
Okay.
Caleb. But it did have a full theatrical release. I didn't go see it in the theater. This was actually something that I streamed at home.
I feel like I
But
remember seeing something about that and I definitely never saw it. Okay, send it to me just to make sure I'm thinking the right thing. We'll go from there.
It looked good though.
Yeah.
It was good.
No. It was good. I recommend it. Just to kind of because it gets your mind in that headspace, Caleb, that you're really trying to go down. And is it the opportunity there? Yes. Will it actually ever come to fruition where we have competing studios that have control over the IP to develop these things? Who knows?
The closest thing we have right now is Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
And in my mind, strictly off of Into the Spider-Verse, the animateds, Sony's winning that battle.
No, they're not. Other way.
No.
The only reason Sony is winning that battle right now is because of the Spider-Verse success.
That's what I just said.
But those two movies alone.
Right.
Outside of that,
that's what I said.
The Tom Holland movies themselves, both in the MCU, just here's the cameo, and that trilogy has outperformed those movies.
Maybe box office wise, I don't think they're better. And the third we all know how I feel.
They're
about
not
the third
better,
Spider-Man, so
they're not better.
But that's what I mean.
I'm not saying that.
Quality wise, I should have clarified that.
So
box office wise, I know it's not close, but quality wise, those Into the Spider-Verse are far and above what Marvel's done.
But that's
then
where
you get all the other stuff that you throw in that Sony's done with the side characters and the villains, and it's trash.
Where's the disconnect? Where's the disconnect? Because you have these IPs.
Because you don't own everything, so you have to, try to weave through things without being able to use the right context.
And exactly, and we've gone a little far deeper down this than I wanted to.
My bad.
No, that's okay.
Some very interesting. I didn't know a lot about.
and it's something that is very worth exploring, and something that we are seeing very much now in our day to day. So for me to say definitively no is one thing, but there is still evidence to back up. Hey, could it be? Sure. Is it gonna be Superman? Maybe not. But will it be a version of? Possibly. Who knows? But anyway, going back to the whole Star Trek thing and moving into my next segue for a quick topic there. Now, Deadpool made the joke. It's all funny. We laugh. Ha ha ha. Playing roles until you're 90 years old. Well, it is now in the rumor mill. Avengers Doomsday is the final Patrick Stewart role we will ever have. He is 85 years old currently. He will be 86 when the movie releases in theaters.
If he's playing Professor X, then
yes,
stupid.
He is.
Stupid. Because now, once again, you're limiting yourself on the ability of how many stories you can tell with that character, unless you're willing to just recast, which they've shown a very
there's now two versions.
Lack or inability of doing that within the Marvel Universe. They'd rather just tell a whole new storyline.
Well, this is where things now are going to get interesting, because now we have two versions.
And I love Patrick Stewart. Sorry if that come out as me not liking Patrick Stewart.
You're good. So we have number one, who we all know is the Foxverse Professor X, who we've had over several movies. We did have the Professor X in Multiverse of Madness. The Professor X we're getting in Doomsday is the Foxverse, because we are getting the entire Fox X-Men lineup. Mm-hmm. So where this takes us from here, who knows? I don't think it's a bad play.
I feel like all of the original Foxverse guys are getting killed off. Like all of them.
Well, the only person that, and this has been released in an interview, is Famke Janssen, who played Jean Grey, has not ever been asked to return for a role ever. So she will not be in Doomsday.
It's stupid. Those movies are not great. The way they try to carry storylines over from one to the other was poorly executed. There's not one character in those movies where I'm like, that is definitely that guy, outside of Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. But even that, we know, if you're trying to be more comic book accurate, is wildly inaccurate for the character. Daniel Radcliffe would actually be a much better fit for that role. Yes. If you filmed him proportionately of who he really is versus the other actors. I don't know why they're so opposed to that. Look, I'm having some trouble with Marvel here lately because while I like a lot of their stuff, I didn't like the way the last Spider-Man was done. I wasn't a big fan of Deadpool because I thought it was all fan nostalgia. Um, it was an entertaining movie. I didn't think it was a good movie as far as character development and a great story from beginning to end and how it builds on a bigger universe and things of that nature. I think what I know about Deadpool and the character, and I think it fits into that idea. But I think it was fan service just like Spider-Man. And now you're going to bring in these other characters from Fox instead of just finally giving X-Men a just due and giving them the ability to tell a true chronological built-on story that evolves into a bigger like what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm very uneasy with Marvel and some of their decision making right now. So we'll see what happens. Again, it's something that we're all having to experience and actually have to see a changing of the guard, unfortunately, right now. It's just what it is. Which, leading into my last topic for the evening, because I will currently eat crow until I see it myself. Talked about the last time I was on the show how I am absolutely infuriated with the PG-13 rating that got slapped for Predator Badlands. As of right now, it is sitting at an 89%. It is the third best overall rated Predator movie. This makes the third Dan Trachtenberg Predator movie to be in the fresh and absolute best franchise. It is better than the original Predators.
There's
is where these last are sitting.
So there's a story instead of just
I will eat my crow in the fact that, all right, I've been wanting more Predator. If we're getting more Predator, I'm here for it. And if this Badlands movie is going to do it and get me to where I want to go, all right, I'm up for the trip. But that is until I see the movie.
Give it the Boba Fett treatment. You'll be fine.
We'll see. We'll see.
Overlook the speed racers, and everything will be fine, Robert.
I mean, again, I love the Boba Fett.
I know series. You and me both, but it's because it gave us more Star Wars, right? And we could.
It gave us more Star Wars outside of the childish things about it. It had great potential, and
look,
I would love
scooters
to see it
for a gang and a duck and roll for a shot. Outside of that, I think we're okay.
Yeah, I've got some things that I want to see, but I am absolutely willing to go the distance and say I was wrong for Badlands when I get the opportunity. I may see it this weekend. Who knows if time allows? If not, I'm going to be seeing it in the next week when I get back. I may even see it Monday evening after we land. Who knows? I'm going to be seeing it.
Monday sounds like your best bet, my friend.
We'll see. Remember, I'm 29, so my bedtime's later than yours.
Single.
When we're on vacation.
Doesn't have a leash.
I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to.
I'm talking to a man who is like,
I could see him after the game going and catching a movie.
Oh, after like everyone's going to bed Thursday night, Friday night, I'm going to the club.
Just saying. Good. That's some good stuff. Final thoughts, gentlemen. Pinky.
I think I'm going to have to hold back slapping this kid on vacation, but we'll see what's up.
It's my vacation too.
Yo, there's some leniency there when it's your own child, so
I'm not blood related. I'm not blood related.
Hey, boys. Gonna have a good time in Seattle.
Pinky's about to get lit when this video goes down.
This is my first vacation in over 10 years to actually have a vacation. I'm excited. I get to see one of my best friends who's like my brother. He's my Andy. He's one of my heterosexual life mates. I'm excited. I get to go see a new team in one of my favorite places of all time. Seattle is one of the places that I dream of living. I love the gray, the rainy, the wet, the cold. I'm weird. It's fine. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. Some of the best friends in my life that I just, whenever we get together, who knows what happens. It's memorable. It's a great time. We laugh, we drink. There's things happen we don't remember, and that's what makes it a great time. I'm excited for the next 5 days. It's going to be a blast.
I love it. Look, we didn't even touch on college football. That coaching carousel keeps getting crazier. The first CFP rankings were released. Maybe there are some surprises for you. Maybe there weren't. I will say Memphis being on top of the group of 5 is a bit interesting. But this is the first one. We got a couple more to go. The season's coming to an end here soon. We got 3 games left in the season for everybody. We'll post some stuff on our socials for the college football.
I mean, we can hit it next week too.
Yeah, I mean, we always usually talk about it.
Are we going to have time next week? I feel like we're about to be having some things to talk about while we're in Seattle, homie.
Well, we're going to have a lot of college football as we get closer. Playoffs, the Heisman, Army-Navy game, you know how I feel about that and talk about it every year. Things are coming up, Pinky. So we'll get there. We'll get there. You gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful trip. I'm always a little bummed I can't be there with you on these, but eventually one day when we're in wheelchairs and Robert has to push us around, I know I'll get into them. Until that day, I just want you guys to have a lot of fun. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Please, please, please hit those buttons for us. We can't thank you enough for the support. It truly means the world to us. We're going to keep doing this until somebody truly makes podcast equipment too expensive.
And last but not least, Caleb, remember the 5th of November.
Oh, so good. Oh, this movie's so good.
I'm sorry, I was waiting for you to finish so I could do that.
So good. So good. On that note, go sit down, throw V for Vendetta on, sit with your family, friends, loved ones, inner circle. Use that for some quality time to entertain yourselves. Till next week, everybody. Appreciate you.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Pinky in the building, reppin' orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. Hot take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side.